This podcast contains real stories, adult language, and occasional chaos. Some content may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised, especially if you're easily offended, overly nostalgic, or still living in a dorm.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Dorm Disorder Podcast. Before we get to too much, I need you all to like, subscribe, and mostly watch the videos. We got analytics, we see, watch. These are going to be some great, enjoyable episodes, and we hope that you tune in and watch the entire thing through. That will really make this go a long way for us. And actually, a lot of that money we spending, we can keep it spending it and make sure that these episodes keep on coming. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm here with my partner.
Yo, what's cracking, everybody? Dan Glorious.
He decided that he is going to drop the 9-4 part, but I said it's really a thing for them and he should continue. Either way, we are here with a very good guest. We got Rich Berry from the class of 1992 here with us today. How you doing, Rich?
What's going on, my good brothers?
Look, man, thank you so much for being here and supporting us, and it means a lot to us. So, but we're going to get to your stories, and always we start off each episode with this. How is it that you got to Girard?
Oh man, so me and my brother Rasul from class of 95, who everybody knows, I'm sure. We lost our dad in 1984. I was 9, Rasul was 7. So 2 years later, my uncle told my mom about Girard College. And so me and Rasul was at a Catholic school at the time in Germantown, St. Vincent de Paul. And so our last year there I was in 6th grade, Rasul was in 3rd, because we was already 3 grades apart. So at the end of that year, St. Vincent was about to consolidate with 2 other schools in Germantown. So I'm thinking, I got 2 more years left before I graduate, and I was supposed to go to Cardinal Dougherty. And actually, Rasul was going to go to Masterman because he had tested into the gifted program when he was like in 1st grade.
Not shocked. Not at all.
So then my mom sits us in the living room. We living at my aunt's house on Elston Street uptown, and she's like, "Yeah, your uncle Maurice, told me about this school, this boarding." No, she didn't say boarding school at first. She said the school for fatherless kids. That's how she couched it.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm with it. And then she saved the worst part for last when she said, you got to stay there Monday through Friday.
Right.
So I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, hell no. And so, in my mind, I had never knew anybody that went to Girard in my circle, where some of my classmates had people and they clicked that went to Girard and knew about it. We were blinded by it. So she's like, yeah, y'all going to take the test in July, and y'all going to pass the test, and that's where y'all going. So I literally was thinking about failing on purpose. So I wouldn't have to go there. So, the crazy part is they sat me and Sewell at the same table to take the test, even though we 3 grades apart. And I remember we talked, on the way to the test. Well, leading up to it, he was more excited about it than I was. So I was like, well, shoot, if he going to pass the test. So I was like, I might as well just go ahead and try my best. And so, basically, and I couldn't believe how easy the test was.
Right.
And I remember as we driving because we took the test in it was a high school auditorium, I believe. And
nobody knows where they took the test. This is like one of those memories we keep talking about. Some of us do, but it's a lot of us are like, I think I took it here. I think I took it there.
We took it in the auditorium, and I remember we was all in these. It was like backstage. You know how the auditorium stage when they open that curtain.
Yeah,
it's a lot of space back there. So they had these round tables set up, and they had like 7. I'm going to 7th grade. Rasul going to 4th grade. And I was like, damn, they got, I'm assuming they gave us different tests, but I remember coming to the campus, we never saw the school. So all we hear was it's a big wall around it. Us living in Germantown, my mom comes from Lincoln Drive, hit Kelly Drive, we come off that ramp at the Art Museum, come up Fairmount Ave. So first wall I see is Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah, right.
So me and Sewell, we always had a routine when my mom was driving, even though I was old enough to sit in the front. I always sat in the back with my Walkman. And Sewell had his Game Boy sitting behind my mom. And I see the wall as she's stuck at the light at Fairmount and Corinthian Ave. I'm nuts. I'm like, yo, man, look at this shit. I'm like, yo, this thing really is a prison. So word started getting around when we started telling our friends where we was going the following year. They was like, man, that's a prison school.
Right.
And I was like, nah, man, y'all just jiving, man. Ain't no prison school. So by that being the first image we see, and I'm tapping him, and he was like, oh. So I'm like, yeah, man, she really sent us to a prison school. So my mom hears this over her DAS music playing, and she was like, she cussed us out. She like, shut the F up. The school is up here. So then once we get to the light at Girard Ave, and we see how small the Girard College wall is, it was like a sigh of relief.
It's relative to Eastern State.
So it was like a sigh of relief, and we were like, okay. And then I see the tower at the Eastern State, and I'm recollecting all the prison movies I can watch. Right. When the guys walking around with the rifles.
Daggone rifle, yeah.
And I'm like, damn, she really sent us to a prison school. So then, we was relief when we sighed relief, and this was all on test day. And so then we got the results, I guess, like a week or two later, and we started in the fall of 1986, September 86.
Did you guys get a chance to tour? Because I had somebody on here that said they got to tour the campus. They got to tour the pools. Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
We didn't get a tour.
I never toured.
Yeah,
shit.
I did not get a tour.
I took a test and then I was there. Here, you live here now. That's pretty much it.
That's a good point. I never got a tour, but some of my classmates did who came before us.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
I didn't get no damn tour.
No tour.
So that's how we ended up there.
All right. So when we do these podcasts, we set up for this. We always do a nice little meeting, and one of the things that happened in that meeting, it actually shook me.
What's that?
And it happened with both of y'all. I want each of y'all, starting with you, Rich, to talk about the death of Bruce Dangerfield, because that really did strike me to my core how serious that was.
Yeah.
So
that was my first time after me and Rasul lost our dad. That was the first time of me dealing with a death within my peer group.
Mm-hmm.
And then it hurt more because I got to know him my 8th grade year when we went to Merchant. And then you guys came from Banker to Mariner.
Yep.
And that was the year Mr. S set up the student center. And so, like, we could still come over there. The girls could come over.
Right.
And so anyway, so I met. I was cool with Damian Cooper and Kobe Rich. We all played basketball together.
Mm-hmm.
So Bruce was like the young boy, and in the student center, remember they had the video game set up.
Yeah.
Miss Pac-Man, track and field, Donkey Kong, all that. And so that every night after study hall, we would get to spend an hour at the student center. We just walk across the courtyard to Merchant. From Merchant to Mariner, and then it turned out like me and Bruce first meeting was we was going head to head in track and field. Remember you had to hit them buttons fast as hell.
Yeah.
And then so he showed me a cheat code. He had a pencil that you would hold like a chopstick kind of, but across, and then you would just do like this, and his man would just accelerate. Yeah. And I'm like, oh man, he like, yeah, next time you playing against whoever. Just make sure you got a pencil on you, and then that's how you can run faster or get the momentum to do the high jump and all that. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I remember, he never played basketball with us, but I heard he could flip because he was, I heard him and my brother Damon Ringo, who was in my class when they was in junior school, I heard they was like two of the best flippers or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Damon kind of confirmed it when we was in Merchant. And, so my last interaction with him was bitter. It was sad but bittersweet. It was a night before we all went home for Christmas, and y'all remember the Christmas concert was always the last event before we all went home. And this was the first year that they had the snack machines that you could put dollar bills in where we don't have to ask for change.
Right.
And I remember I had just got my allowance that week from my mom, and because Christmas fell on like a Wednesday that year, so we was only at school Monday and Tuesday, and then we was home. Right. And Bruce asked me to borrow $1, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll give it back to you after the break." I'm like, "Here, man, get what you want." And he got a bag of Cheetos and a 35-cent Frank soda. I forget what kind, but remember we had the Frank's machine. So
Yeah.
and he was like, "You want to change?" And I was like, "No, keep it." I said, "You can get another snack on your way home tomorrow, whatever." And
Black
then of
cherry.
course when we came back from that holiday, he went to the hospital, I think, during that break, right?
Absolutely.
And he never made it back to campus. Yeah. So I was just glad that was my last interaction with him. Was because back then when people ask you for money, it was like, "Oh man, I ain't got it."
Yeah.
And I was always like, generous with people, especially if you was my boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had people return the favor to me if I was short. Like, "Yo, can I get 50 cents to get a snack?"
Right.
And so it hit me so hard that I couldn't even go to the service. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but for anybody that didn't want to go to the service in the chapel, we was in Mr. Colson room, I think, man.
Yeah.
The computer room, and it was like a study hall, basically.
Right.
And now mind you, and the reason I didn't go, because I was still scarred from losing my dad 4 years prior. And by being a 9-year-old kid, and that being my first funeral and stuff, I wasn't ready to see one of my peers, but so yeah.
So what happened to him? Like,
He had cancer. He had cancer.
Stomach
Cancer. So
okay.
I met Bruce in second grade when I first came in. We were there on a weekend. Bruce was like jumping up and down on a bench, and he dropped a couple of ones out of his pocket. I picked the money up. I said, "Here, you drop this." He was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Put it back in his pocket. He bought me a soda for like giving the money back to him. And we were cool. I didn't hang out with, like, Bruce had his group that he hung out with, but I knew him since second grade. So it's funny that this came up on that call because I never, ever really talked about this. I don't talk about it because it is sad, and it was my first time experiencing somebody that was my age, kind of, passing away. So to be with somebody from second grade to our 7th year, you go through a lot of things with those people as you're growing, and you're in Girard, you're there on the weekends at some point. So, it was tough. And when we got off the call, I was still kind of bothered by it because I never really even talked to Jill about it. I never really bring it up because, it just bothered me so much. I kind of just tucked it away until we talked about it that day. So, I do remember going to the service. It's clear as day when it was announced. We were lined up in a hallway in Mariner when they told us. I think there were counselors available. The counselor for middle school was available. But I don't think Girard was prepared for any kind of traumatic counseling. Yeah. And I don't think I know we never really I think a lot of us never really dealt with it, never really got over that. So yeah, it was tough. When we hung up, it was like weighing on me.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry that
No, it's all right. It's I mean, it happened.
So he was a friend, and the sad part was he passed 2 days after his birthday.
Yeah. Wow.
January 10th was his birthday, and then he passed on the 12th.
Yeah, sorry. Like, I really just wanted to bring that up because that is such, like, it's one thing to have a childhood friend pass away, but we lived with each other. We were each other's brothers and sisters in a more literal sense than most folks. So I just found that I wanted to hear words from you guys about that experience. I appreciate you sharing that. And I'm sure they'll appreciate that as well.
And he could flip.
So you mentioned a little bit you were in Mariner Hall, and this is probably the wildest story I've heard, but you had a classmate that used to send letters to folks.
What kind of letters?
To celebrity folks.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! I forgot. Okay, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me about it?
He'll remain nameless, but yeah. So y'all remember back in the late '80s, mid to late '80s, a lot of celebrities had these fan clubs that you can join, and so my man was infatuated with a
Teen Beat
with a certain attractive female that was on Charles in Charge, and
oh no, we can go ahead and just say that name. That is what it is. Nicole Egbert.
And so he literally would send letters, and then once he would never get a response, and then about a month or two, because he would send them like twice, 3 times a week. So then like a month or two later, he got a response, and it was just like, oh, thank you for being a fan or whatever. But everybody thought he was lying, and then when he showed us the letter, now we think it was real. We still don't know till this day if it was real.
Just a little form thing. Yeah,
But it said from Burbank, California, or whatever, the return address. But that was fun. And remember that back then we had the payphones on each floor.
Right.
So certain cats had females that would call them at all times of the day after school.
Right.
So they'd be like, yo, man, keep that phone clear between 4 and 4:30. And it was crazy. So he would always be like, yeah, man, I'm waiting for a call. And he would literally stand by the phone. And we like, man, and some of the other guys, some of the non-believers in our class would be like, oh, man, you bullshit. Ain't nobody calling your ass. And or ain't Nicole Egger calling your ass.
Right.
But we saw the letter. Till this day, don't know if it was real or not. But he showed it to us, the ones that didn't believe him.
And then one day the phone rang.
Oh, that part. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he wasn't standing by the phone that day. He was near it because we had the break, not the break. I'm thinking of my job, the break room, the game room.
Yeah.
And somebody else was waiting for a call, and then when they picked up and they asked for my man, he was like, I just remember him coming in the game room. He like, such and such, you got a phone call, make it quick. like we was in jail or something. Make it quick. And like I said, now till this day, we think it was her, but we don't know. And we asked the person who was on there, and she said her name was Nicole. She didn't say the last name, but so some people think he got a random chick to call.
Hell yeah, he did.
Yeah.
She ain't called from California.
But remember, we had 8th grade back then, so that's when tall tales are being formed sometime, and
there was no internet. We can never prove it.
Exactly. We ain't even had pagers yet.
Right.
That was before pagers. I didn't get my first pager till the year after I graduated from Girard.
I remember making a call from that Mariner. I called a radio station when Q102 came out. I was dating somebody at Girard. I was let me dedicate this song to Ya Ya Ya. I think it was Fine Young Cannibals.
Oh shit, Fine Young Cannibals.
You drive me crazy, yeah.
I don't want to go on. Did you like that? Nah. Oh, not that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sing.
All right,
just you look at it.
But hold on, was Zulu the one man game on Q102 back then?
Yeah. Okay. It's like when the station first popped up. I didn't mean to sidebar,
when they started playing hip hop.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Like we used to do a thing with the phone in Mariner Hall too, but it wasn't as interesting as having people call us, right? It used to be this phone number in the back of Marvel Comics that used to sell gargoyles.
Okay.
And it was just this random phone number, but it was like a 1-800 number. So me and like 6, 7, 8 other dudes when I was in 8th grade, we would grab the phone, dial that number to order these gargoyles and be like, yo, tell us what kind of gargoyles you have. And they get all excited. Like, oh, yeah, we've got 6-inch gargoyles, 12-inch gargoyles. And we'd be like, do they have any dildos? And that's all we did. We would call these dudes day in, day out and just be like, dildo. And hang up the phone. Got to the point where they wouldn't pick up the phone number. We waited out a little bit, sweet talk them a little bit. But does it have a dildo? Hang up the phone.
Yo, y'all went Bart Simpson.
Yeah, that's all we did. Every time, I swear, anybody that was there at that time will absolutely confirm.
I actually seen fights over that phone.
Oh, absolutely! Like it was prison phones back in the day. It was only but one for the whole building.
Because if you call from outside the walls and somebody was on the phone, you get that busy signal. Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah.
And one time, somebody, not in my class, the class under me, they stayed on the phone past their time, and oh man, we had to separate them. Jeez. But yeah, the phone thing was real. And tell them about the collect calls.
Oh yeah. Like that's how I had to call my mama. Hold on.
Remember how you can avoid the charges?
Yeah. Collect call from don't accept this call. Just call me right back.
Yeah. Call me right back. Hang up.
This might come back.
Hey mom, it's me. Call me right back. Or you had a chick outside the walls.
Yeah.
Hey, Stace, it's me. Call me right back. Click.
It's so funny to me because they're like, there's like a couple little commercials nowadays, and it's like, who makes collect calls anymore?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a dated
There's
thing.
hardly any payphones anymore.
Yeah, just like you see one out in the wild, you're almost like Nat Geo. Like, oh my God, it's a payphone in the wild. Take a picture of that joint.
I always say if I ever hit it big, I'm installing them all throughout the city again.
Why? Even the homeless people have payphones, Rich.
But no, people run out of battery power in their cell phones, right?
Oh, see, in New York, they already got that fixed. They don't
really?
even have like payphones. They just got little stations. Like a homeless dude would just plug in, they get internet and
well, you got
and
me
charge.
there.
See? This is why baby brother coming to visit us.
Exactly.
To tell us
Oh yeah, he the tech dude. I'm the Sanford and Son guy. He the tech dude.
There was a couple other stories that I definitely need to mention. First of all, your class, we talked about this. I stand by this. All the even number classes are assholes.
I noticed you said that.
Yeah, we are
during the Ron
assholes.
Marrero episode.
Yeah. Now, you all did some pretty asshole stuff
Oh boy.
to a particular teacher. I don't know. Why don't you talk
Orlovsky?
about? Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Oh man. So for everybody that don't know, Mr. Karlovsky was one of our French teachers along with Miss Bandy, and
Another asshole.
most of us had him. We either had one or both for at least 2 to 3 years out of our high school careers. And Mr. Karlovsky was kind of like a stuck up kind of by the book guy. And so when the class of 94 had French our senior year, when we was on our way to gym or shop class, we had to walk past his class to get to them steps. So we hated Karlovsky so much, we started throwing the trash can in the classroom while class of 94 was in there. And so one person would open the door, and then whoever was near the trash can, we throw it, and by the time that door shut, all you hear is boom, 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 boom. All you heard was footsteps running down the fire escape and some through the regular stairwell. So man, this shit happened so much. This dude puts a mirror in the back of his classroom so he could see whoever opened the door. Yep. So we got around that by whoever was going to be the thrower would cover their face in like a t-shirt mask, like how we used to do when we played ninjas.
Yeah.
And I remember sometime my man Mr. Mackey from 94, who's in the house, him, I think Haas, Kareem, Omar, I think they had that row right when you open the door, and they would see us. And so like when we like creep the door open, and they would give us a thumbs up if Karlovsky wasn't looking. And then because that creep make that noise, so we had to open it slow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when they would give us a thumbs up, then we would like, all right, the one person would pull the door, and then we boom, and then next thing you know, by the time Karlovsky would get to the door, all he heard was footsteps. He couldn't see nobody.
But your class, I don't know. Y'all did something I think is worse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we used to go to when you went to Will's Eye, you went with a group. It wasn't like you went with your class.
It's
you
like
went
8
with
kids.
So if you guys don't know Will's Eye, it is what it is.
van.
It's an eye hospital. You go get your eyes checked. You pick in a bin. You pick out some cheap pair of frames that they put your lenses in. Jones you're never going to wear because it looks embarrassing. But they dilate your pupils. So we come back and we have to go to the infirmary first. They got to assign us to get us go back to class. And it was myself. It was a person from 93, and it was 2 other people that were in higher up classes. And we went up the stairwell that led to Karlovsky's class. And the older students had already prepared that they're going to throw water balloons in this classroom. So they fill up these water balloons. They gave me and the person from 93 a water balloon. There was no mirror yet. We looked in. The people in the class were like, just nodding their head that he was over by the desk, and we all just like did not stick our bodies in, just our arms, and we just threw him in that corner and darted. Went downstairs. You see him later. His short sleeve dress shirt is all wet. He's got like watermarks on him, and the next day we walked up in the morning, and he's putting the mirror up, like making sure it was straight, and then walking to his desk and sitting down and looking to see if he could see who was outside. But he was the original troll. If you weren't paying attention, he'd say some shit in French, and it would mean like you're in the moon and he wants you to come back down. Raul de Lunes or whatever the fuck he would say, and he's like, come on down. Like I never.
Hold on. So was Raul your French name?
Yeah.
So that's how you got that nickname.
Too Cool Razor Raul.
I always wondered where Carlos and them got that name from.
Yeah.
Cool Raul. That's what I remember.
Yeah. That was my
I'm like, where the hell Raul come from? Then it just how we already had nicknames for people. That's a whole nother. That could be a whole nother episode. Big names. I had one myself from a girl in junior school. She used to call me Bushwick, and I couldn't get mad at her though, cause she's like, "Hey, what's up, Bushwick? Can I get a yearbook?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got any extra ones." Cause we used to get. Did y'all get 10 yearbooks when y'all graduated?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Got one.
But go ahead. I'm
you
sorry.
all, I dare say it, you all still probably got Karlovsky just as good walking towards the building one
Oh
day.
yeah, with the snowball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So remember how when it was snow real bad, and that snow would be on that ledge on the third floor.
Yep.
And, they had the black bars to prevent people from jumping, I guess. And him and Miss Bandy coming from lunch one day, we already up in the third floor waiting for class to start. And so we see him. He got the Baryshnikov hat on in the winter. You know what I mean? He looked like a cold Russian back then. And Miss Bandy looked like one of them chicks you see in the old French movie. And they walking like they a couple, but they wasn't. We knew they wasn't. But so we like, yo, somebody yells out, they go Karlovsky, get him. Next thing you know, about 8 to 10 people start going like this, making snowballs from the ledge. And then everybody hide behind that one part where you can't see, like behind the wall.
Yeah.
And they was like, is he looking up? We had, we always had to look out.
Yeah.
No, he good. And next thing you know, man, it was like, it reminded me of when my boy Jimmy Johnson got pelted at the vet with snowballs at an Eagles game. And cause they was hating on my Cowboys, but that's a different story. But look, so, and one of them hit him like in the collar, and then some of the remnants went up to his face. And I remember him looking up, and he pulled out a pen and pad with the quickness. He always had this little marble pad in his inside pocket and a pen right away. It was like Quick Draw McGraw. Like he pulled it out, and so he looking for any face he recognized, and he writing the names down. And then Miss Bandy is like still wondering like where the hell did they come from? But so yeah, he got snowballed by us, a couple times, and I feel bad about it now, but back then we didn't care.
You should not. You should not. From every story I've heard of this person, I never had him, but you should not have ever felt bad about it.
Yeah, he was rough.
Well, just being a mature adult now is like, I guess that was, but we kids back then. We don't have that mindset. So yeah, the hell with that. I'm glad we did it. Yeah, because he gave me a B-.
Damn that B-.
So y'all remember he had the class participation grades where it was non-participation and participation time. Yeah. So if you raised your hand to answer a question, you would get a plus if you got it right. But if you got it wrong, you wouldn't get a minus. Now, if it was non-participation time, he would call on you and you had to get it right to get a plus. But if you got it wrong, you got a minus. So yeah, he would kill us with that sometime. But we had some interesting French names though. Yeah. Cool Raoul. I love that. Yeah. I wonder what was Rasoul's name. I always meant to ask him what was his French name. Because I would think Raoul was close to Rasoul, right?
Yeah.
I got the dumbest damn
What's your
French
Michel?
name. That's what it eventually became.
But that's what Michael is in French.
Right. But it was Gilbert. Like, what? Gilbert. Gilbert. Like, I used to hate that Joan. Eventually, she forgot that Zaleski. Yeah. She forgot that she named me that and just started calling me Michelle for the rest of it.
I would have went to France. I would have told the chicks my name Gilbert.
No, I ain't like that. I ain't like that.
They would have loved it in France. Trust me.
I ain't in France.
What's your name, sir? I'm Gilbert. Oh my God! But go ahead, Mike. Yeah, that's good shit. So yeah, like I said, 7th grade, 8 people to a dorm. 8th grade, 8 people to a dorm emergent. Then 9th grade, that's when they redid Mariner to make it mimic Allen Hall, because that was the year Allen was being renovated for the girls. Mm-hmm. So 7th and 8th grade, we had some. So my favorite dorm disorder stories was, so first of all, whenever one of the house parents had female company, we knew it was on. It was going to be
Gary Carter.
Yep. It was going to be on. It was
I forgot about that, dude.
And then especially if we seen them walk up the steps,
yes,
and they was like a 9 or a 10, and they were dragging that. I'm sorry, but we like, it's on tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't gonna worry about us. He got female company, so
The car
that was so that's when
Cavassier.
so look, that's when we would have dorm to dorm disorder. Like not just us in our dorm, but
right.
when one of the house parents had female company, then all right, we can go down to the next dorm, mess with them for a while, go upstairs, and they wouldn't even know because they busy.
Yeah.
So my 7th grade one so that was my first year. So I'm still trying to get acclimated to how this thing worked. You know what I mean? I'm still like culture shock, sleeping with 7 other dudes. And
Pause.
so it was like
No, go ahead.
so it was like after lights out, y'all gotta be quiet. So I know Sundays was the most dorm disorder because everybody coming home from the weekend. So I remember we had a house parent who he must have had a bad weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, if I hear anybody else talking after lights out, the whole dorm coming out and grudging." And I'm sure everybody know what grudging is, but for the ones who don't know, who didn't go to Girard, we had to stand against the wall, damn near like 4 inches apart from the wall, and stand up straight,
just stare at it
for however many minutes the house parent told you to. So so this when I found out passing gas was a thing at Girard. So I'm like, damn, that first week I was at Girard, I'm like, man, I done heard so many people pass gas in my dorm more than me and Rasul did in our room back home in like a 2-year time span. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But whenever somebody did it, the whole dorm would crack up. So unfortunately, somebody did it. We all laughing. He comes storming back, made all of us grudge. And that was like my first taste of dorm disorder. And then later on down the line, it was like talking and that kind of stuff. But that was my first taste of dorm disorder.
You reminded me of something in Mariner Hall. I was there on a weekend, and Marge Holmes was on duty. Rest in peace to Miss Holmes. And we went roller skating on a Friday night. And we came back, and it was late. I left to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to have to use the F word here. There was a fucking bat in the hallway. Now, I'm not bullshitting you. There was a bat in the hallway. So I went to go out, and this bat flew by my head. I swear it like brushed my hair. So I ran back in the room, and there's like 4 other people there because it's a weekend. I'm like, yo, there's a fucking bat in the hallway. And they're like, stop playing. I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. So I go in, I wrap a towel around my neck, I wrap a towel around my head because I have to dart to the bathroom, and this thing is flying back and forth. Funny part of the story is Ms. Holmes. So then we all make these little rat towels, and we're trying to snap the bat out of the air. So we're all in a hallway. Ms. Holmes comes out of her room, opens the door, and yells at us, "Get to bed right now. What the hell are you doing? Making all that noise." And we're like, there's a bat in the hallway. She's like, there ain't no bat in the hallway. And it flew past her head. She ran back in her room, closed the apartment door, cracked it open. I'm calling security. Get in your room. And shut the door. So security had to come get the bat. But we wrap stuff around our necks like it's a vampire bat.
Well, the 1 year, hold on, I got one more for y'all. So 9th grade, we got locked out our dorm one time, and it's me, my brother Sakeen Cook, Jermaine Allen, Jermaine Dent, and John Hill. We all was in one dorm in 9th grade. We get locked out our dorm, and I remember they told us, because it was like the 2nd or 3rd time it happened that week. So we figured out we can go from dorm to dorm through the drop ceiling.
Yeah, right.
So Sakeen tries to go through the drop ceiling and unlock the door for us. And unfortunately, he falls through after he crosses our door. And but so we had to play it off like somebody tried to break in our dorm. Because, ain't nobody was going to tell the house parents what happened. But yeah, that 9th grade was the best dorm disorder. Well, Bordeaux Hall too, because Mr. Pooley used to make sure our lights was out. So we started putting a towel under the door.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got a Beeb story for y'all too. So 10th grade, when we get to Bordeaux, Mr. Saunders is our senior house parent. I don't know where Mr. Campbell was away in Jamaica that year. So then he came back the following year. But he was still living in Merchant. So he would make sure our lights was out in Bordeaux. So mind you, our class was 10th grade. We on the 2nd floor. The seniors at that time, which would have been Wardell and them, they was on the 1st floor. And class of 91 was on the 3rd. So Mr. Saunders was like, it was like spring, right before spring break. So everybody hyped. We going home the next day, extended weekend. He like, all right, now I see some lights on. Make sure y'all turn them lights out. So all you hear is, "Shut up, B." So now he trying to figure out where the voice is coming from. So everybody catching on because everybody on that side facing Founders Hall turn their lights out. So now he don't know who got lights on or whatever. So he's like, all right, I hear that. And all you hear is, shut up, B. And he like, y'all gonna owe me some time. You know, that's his favorite phrase. Like that. So when I find out who it is, y'all gonna owe me some time. All right, B. Shut up, B. Oh, man, that was hilarious. And then, you know, we peeking out the shade because we had the old ass shades. So we peeking to make sure he gonna continue his walk to Merchant Hall. And he did a roundabout where he came back to Bordeaux, but he never came on the floor. He just went up the steps and so we could hear the door open.
Yeah.
But he kind of got a kick out of it too. I could tell. Like he was mad, but at the same time, because he was laughing. He like, all right, when I find out who's saying all that, y'all gonna be detained this weekend.
Hey.
And then you hear people from the third floor. Yeah, right, Bieber, shut up.
Bieber.
Yo, man, that's my man.
Y'all gonna
Shout
owe
out
me
to
some
man.
time.
Shout out
Hey.
to Mr. Saunders, man. He was the man, but
He was
yeah.
the man.
He was.
All right,
All
so
right.
we breaking.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What?
What's up? I'm sorry. What's up?
I didn't.
You gonna make me work this week, man. My editing is gonna. I got to work this week.
Don't worry,
man.
I'm feeding your ass, so
Yeah.
it'll be worth it.
So
Okay.
when you said I had to sleep with 7 other men, I was like, pause, and then you paused for real.
Yeah, I know. I should. Yeah, we had 2 quarters, like 2 people here, 2 people here, 2 people there. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I know that the Girardians know what I'm talking about.
That ends our episode for this week. Tune back in for part 2 of this madness. Oh, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. We'll catch y'all next week. Please don't forget, like, subscribe, follow. Thank you so much. See you
all
next
right,
week.
y'all. Peace out.
Peace. Junior school, she used to call me Bushwick.